My wife is having an affair with
David Lindhagen. David Lindhagen, I know. How do I know that?
Well,
I'm a total stranger. How would I know something so intimate about your wife? Do you want to know why I know that, Cal?
okay.
Because it's all that I've heard, Cal, for the past 2 nights. It's all anybody's heard. You're going around and you're like badgering people with this sad sack, loser, sob story, and I don't understand why.
No, I don't need this crap.
Cal, sit down.
All right.
Look, I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. And you need to hear the truth. So, permission to speak candidly, sir.
I think you've already gone there.
You're sitting there with a Supercuts haircut, you're getting drunk on watered-down vodka cranberries like a 14-year-old girl, and you're wearing a 44 when you should be wearing a 42 regular. Honestly, I don't know if I should help you or I should euthanize you. Cal, you got a kind face. You got a good head of hair. You seem like a nice guy. I want to help you. I'm gonna help you rediscover your manhood. Do you have any idea, like, where you lost it?
Strong case could be made for 1984.
Hey guys, skills at the skillsmethod.com, that's for seduction.com. There are two types, there are many types of men, and everybody's different. You have the nerds, the nice guys, the tough guys, the gangsters, the hustlers, the manwhores, the seducers, the pickup artists, the naturals, the players, the pimps, the ghetto dudes, the rockers, etc. Okay, we can go on and on. However, our goal is to maximize our seduction potential. So instead of me wasting time breaking down all type of men, what we're gonna do is to look at things from the women's point of view. Women are looking for anything to disqualify men, even when they're attracted to them. Especially the hot women over 8 that have a lot of choices. Most of them, they don't even know they're doing it, they do it in the subconscious. Okay? This is when you being when self-actualization, you becoming attractive, attractive masculine behavior plays a role. You want to be the best possible you can be, and if she disqualify you, then she was not a match anyways. Now, with that being said, there are two types of dudes when it comes to women and seduction. One is the lover, and the other one is the provider. A good example of that was at the intro, the Ryan Gosling representation in the movie Crazy Stupid Love by the guy Jacob, and the Steve Carroll, I think is his name, dude, represented by the other guy. The sample in the intro, I really recommend you guys watch the movie Crazy Stupid Love, so you can get the point of what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to focus all of our energy and effort into becoming a lover. And you want to minimize or avoid at all costs becoming a provider.
I am Juan Antonio, and you are?
Christina, and this is my friend Vicky.
I'd like to invite you both to spend the weekend. We'll eat well, we'll drink good wine, we'll make love.
Who exactly is going to make love?
Hopefully the 3 of us.
Women are generally seeking 2 types of providers. Okay? Let's call it different providers. Now, let's consider sex being a trait. What you're trading for the sex defines what kind of provider you are as a man. Now, the men that women are seeking, who are confident, independent, attractive, having a lot of girls chasing after them, are called sex providers. Now, this is the man who women find sexually attractive, the man who women would like to have sex just for the sake of having sex. Now, what these guys have in common is that they're often behaving sexually towards women, making themselves being perceived as sexual beings, in other words, sex providers. This type of man is usually called alpha males, or lovers, or boy toys, fuck boys, sigmas, manwhore, whatever, players, whatever. Now, what is point, etc. They call it all type of different men. So the point is guys that get a lot of women. Now, what is important to point out is that these men are trading sex for sex. However, these men are a minority. If you look at my last video, it's about 1 to 2% of men. Whereas the majority of men are providers of anything else of women's needs. For example, they provide, for example, social value, material goods, emotional support, and so on. In other words, what these men do, which is the 48% if you watch my last video of the secret society of sex, is that they will trade something else other than sex in order as an exchange for having sex with a woman. Okay? As a matter of fact, this type of provider tend to get sex from being in relationship with women. Now you might ask, why is that a problem? What is wrong with that? What's the big deal? Well, let me tell you, let me give you a good question, let me give you the answer. Whenever a woman gets too attracted to you in ways that are not purely sexual, in other words, when she doesn't perceive you as a lover, sex, boy toy, whatever, what women will do in the subconscious is they will tend to act in a very pure and asexual way towards those men. In other words, they won't behave sexually towards them. On the contrary, she will start expressing purity, like acting like a nice, good girl. This is because she feels more attractive whenever she acts non-sexual towards men and feels unattractive when she's behaving too sexually or promiscuous. This is because women in fact believe that men do not like women who are sexually open when it comes to relationships. As women are familiar with the complex many men have, which is called the Madonna whore complex, and I'm gonna give you an example of that.
How can you say things like this to a woman?
Are you selling? Are you soliciting? Are you selling your body?
I'm not soliciting anything. Can you believe what he's saying to me right now?
You're dressed like a slut.
I'm waiting for my boyfriend and you are harassing me.
What does your family think? Is she a prostitute?
I don't know.
Is she selling sex?
I don't know.
She is, isn't she?
You're doing this to me right now.
You're a prostitute, man.
Do you
How,
agree with
is it
what
not
he's
illegal?
saying?
Is it not
He's
illegal?
calling me
You're a
a
slut.
slut.
Look at how you're dressed. What do you expect? She's a
He's
slut.
calling me a
Why is she
slut.
dressed? Is she a prostitute?
You can dress
You're a
as
prostitute.
How am I dressed as anything?
Do you
It's a
really
free
expect to
country.
go
I
around
can
like
dress-
that?
I can
Dress like what? You're
however I
dressed like a
want.
slut.
I'm
A
not
slut.
dressed as a
What do you
slut.
expect? How are you going to get respect when you're dressed like a slut? Are you a prostitute? Are you a prostitute? How much? Are you a prostitute?
I'm not a prostitute at all.
Why are you dressed like that? Who are you trying to
I
impress?
can dress however I
And then
want.
people wonder why women get raped and abused when you're dressed like a tramp. She's a slut. She's a
serious
slut.
right now?
You're a slut.
Are you
You're a
mad?
slut. Don't dress like a slut.
Are you crazy?
Fucking hell, man. All these people are dressed respectable and presentable.
Normal?
That's what I'm asking you. Why are you dressed like a slut?
I can dress however I want. What is it to you?
How much do you make? Get the fuck, look, a slut with attitude. You're a slut, man. What's wrong with you? That's fucking assault, by the way. What do you expect? What do you expect? Who did that? Who did that? What's going on? Hey, freedom of speech. If I think she looks like a slut, I can say she looks like a slut. What's wrong with you? Why are you chucking shit at me? Have respect for me. I'm a man. Have respect for me. She's dressed like a little tramp and a slut. You're a slut. Are you with her as well? Why is she fucking? Are you her pimp? Are you her pimp? Are you her pimp? How much? How much?
What do you mean how much, man?
Is that your slut? Is she your slut?
It's none of your business.
She's a fucking
It's not
slut.
business.
Fucking hell. I used to be with someone like that, a user. Fucking free ride all the way through life.
It's not business.
Fucking slut, man. Is she your slut?
Come
Yeah,
here.
fucking slut, man. And who's chucking shit at me? Why are you chucking shit at me? Have respect for me. I'm a man. A woman. How's a woman supposed to have?
Chuck something at you.
Fuck off, another slut.
Fucking chuck something at you. You fucking asshole.
As you guys saw in the video, that was a perfect example of what we're discussing right now. Okay? Now, what is the Madonna whore complex as you saw in the video? Okay? As you clearly saw in that video. Well, That's a good question. Here's the answer. There are many different versions, but this is the one that I like. Is by one of the best seducers in the world, TVA Oslo, Teevester. He writes for Chase, Rolston. I can't even pronounce his name. Okay. So, okay. Most men. I'm talking about the 48% of guys. No guys that are part of the secret society of sex. They see black and white. They even perceive women as either plain whores, who are just sex tools, who are usually when it comes to relationships, or they are Madonnas, which men perceive as pure and good girls. These Madonnas, being known as pure and correct women, are often perceived by men as better fitted for relationships. Okay? Women know this. Okay? For that reason, they will tend to act in a way that communicates that she's a Madonna. In other words, she will behave very asexual towards male who they perceive as potential relationship candidates. That's why usually if a girl sees that a guy is like, it looks like a boyfriend potential, she will make him like wait for sex and things like that. Okay. Now, this is because they believe, and they're right in most of the cases, that men usually do prefer women that are pure and correct, because most men fantasize about women that are exclusive to them. The sad fact is that the idea of a pure Madonna remains just a plain fantasy. The reality is that no women are pure Madonnas. Neither are they whores, for examples. Any women can be sweet and correct, but they are also whores, as every woman has a sexual biological drive. This is an universal truth about healthy women. Still, many men believe some Madonnas do exist. We have all heard, oh, she's not like the rest, oh, she's different, she's not like that, blah blah blah, or she changed, oh, she found God, all this bullshit. Now, the problem occurs whenever a man is too attracted to a woman in a way that is not just purely sexual. She starts perceiving that man as a boyfriend potential. Nothing wrong with that. But she will perceive him as a provider, meaning that the relationship will not be based on sexual aspect. It's not, like I say, it's not sex on exchange for sex. Therefore, she's better off expressing her Madonna side, her good girl side, her nice, her making way for sex. And she does that by showing purity, acting in a very asexual, in order to win the guy over, so the guy can think, oh, she's a wife material. And this is because she believes showing purity, acting as sexual in order to win the man over, as because she's selling that to the guy, because that works. This is what women will often make men wait for sex. I'm not that kind of girl, which is something we don't want to happen as lovers. Okay, we don't want women to act pure towards us, as we want sexual openness. Women fucking us quickly and good. Many times we just want to simply fuck a girl, not be in a relationship. Or if we do want to enter in a relationship with that girl, we don't want to commit on a false premise, her being a pure Madonna. A quick word of advice is to never enter a relationship on her terms, as you don't want to exchange sex for anything else other than sex. Keep in mind that you can easily start a relationship with a woman by being perceived as a sex provider. These relationships will be a lot better in quality and will last longer. As a matter of fact, people think that you cannot be a lover and then go into a relationship. Most of my relationship, 3 years, 10 years, I entered as a lover, and then I switch over to boyfriend if she wins me out. Watch my other videos. Follow my blog. Get the book. Like, subscribe. I'm not for everybody. You know what I'm gonna say. If you don't like it, on my left note, because the right one is the reproductive, and get the fuck out.